Mr. President of the United States.
Our top political priority over the next 2 years should be to deny President Obama a second term.
I know racism when I see it.
Every single member of this institution, Democratic and Republican, should join us in condemning the president's racist tweets.
Hello and welcome to DC Today. I'm Bill Walters, still quarantined in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Antoinette Crosby will join us shortly. The Republican National Convention is over, but while we know what the Republicans stand against, what exactly do they stand for? And is the RNC now the TNC, the Trump National Convention? We'll talk about it with two reporters from The Nation, but first, the latest.
We're joined by John Nichols. He is the National Affairs Correspondent for Nation magazine. And John, the headline in your article seems to say it all. The party of whoever Trump says it is. Is that what the Republican Party has become?
Very much so. Look, I've covered the Republican Party for a very long time and been aware of it for a long time, as you have. And there's no question that this party has gone through a radical transformation. And that transformation began before Trump. But the thing to understand about the party at this point is that for a variety of reasons, the people who question Trump, who might question him, who might be an alternative grouping within the party, have left. They're literally, a huge number of them are literally endorsing Joe Biden. The handful that may actually have doubts about Trump and question him are very, very quiet for a variety of reasons. And you saw that writ large in the convention because they didn't even try to write a platform. Now, you understand, the Republican Party has been writing platforms since 1856. Every cycle, they've never missed one, neither the Democrats. And then now suddenly they're like, oh, we don't need one. All we're going to say is we really love Donald Trump.
And we believe you, which seems to be a large part of the platform, too. So we're used to that. That's the part that the public doesn't understand is we're used to being bashed. We're always the bad guys. But what's interesting in this case is how much the stifling dissent hurt the Republican brand itself.
Ultimately, it hurts it a great deal because a political party benefits by showing its dynamism. And the Republican Party, actually, some people in it recognize that. At the convention, they've tried very hard, at least to show some measure of diversity. They recognize that you can't just have a group of white men standing there. So they've tried to do that. But one of the key things for a political party is ideological diversity. You have to show that you're, as they used to say in the 80s, a big enough tent that you can have different ideas. And why that becomes important is as you get toward an election, you want people who don't necessarily agree with you on everything to vote for you, right? You want them to say, well, I don't necessarily love this guy, but I can be in this broader camp. I can find my place there. And you saw that a lot in the past. Remember, if we want to go back into our history a bit, think of Ed Brooke, the great senator from Massachusetts, very liberal Republican, African-American senator, who voted, or at least, campaigned for Richard Nixon. And he and Nixon ended up having real deep differences, fundamental differences. Brooke was against the Vietnam War. But having that diversity, having that debate about issues, and having that space for somebody who disagrees, I think ultimately it's beneficial for a party. The Republicans seem to have, at this point, decided they don't want to even entertain that notion.
John, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to ask you the question: how big is the Republican Party that is left over in this era of Trump? So stay with us.